This
My name is
conference will now be recorded.
I'm SAP FICO consultant, and I am also SAP FICO trainer. So I've been in this SAP for last 13 years and giving this online training for last 12 years. So I worked on different kinds of project. I worked on both the type of project like ECC and HANA. So that is what I am up to. Can you tell about yourself?
Uh, I'm Sandeep Silekar. I'm working with Amdocs. I have around 22 years of experience, and last 6 to 7 years I'm working in implementation and support of finance and travel. Currently, I'm working in ECC.
Okay. So you are already in the SAP this uh, in the like SAP stream, no?
Yes,
Okay.
right from the beginning, means I'm in the SAP stream from R2.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Now you want to do the upskilling or what?
No, basically, the organization looking for will migrate it to S4 HANA.
Okay.
So that's the reason me and my colleagues would like to go through a simple finance training. Okay.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, so what other like colleagues, your colleagues, they also have the same kind of exposure in SAP?
Hey, Jitesh, my name is Abhishek. I'm having 17 years of experience, and out of that, 16 years in the with the business, and now I'm working with SAP FI team as a
Okay.
consultant,
Okay. Okay.
and I'm ECG certified consultant.
And in SAP, how long you've been?
I think as a consultant, 1.5 year.
Okay. Okay, fine. And what about others?
Sandeep, Swati and Sunil are facing some issues, it seems. So I don't know if they are able to hear us or not. So if you can just give the introduction of
Swati,
Swati, Sunil also.
Swati,
Swati is there.
Swati Sunil.
Yeah, can you hear me, Sandeep, Swati?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now I am able to hear you and I am able to access.
Amazing.
Sunil, can you give the introduction of yourself? Okay.
Okay.
Sunil, can you hear us?
Sunil, can you give a quick introduction?
Yes, yes.
How do
Uh, Myself, Sunil Onkar Shetty. Okay, so I am SAP ERP certified. Okay, and I okay.
Okay, and how long you been in the SAP, Sunil?
I'm Doctor 2 plus.
2+ years. Okay. Okay. And what about Swati?
No, 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 Sunil. They are asking how long you are working as a consultant, not with Amdocs.
Happens.
Sunil, how many years you worked in SAP as a FI consultant? Okay, maybe he is not able to. listen to us.
Yeah, Jitesh, he is actually having some network issue.
No
So,
Network
problem.
issue actually I'm facing.
Sandeep or Abhishek, if you guys can give some brief introduction about Sunil and Swati, then we can just continue the session.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's not waste time because they might be having some connectivity issue. So Swati is also having more than 17 or 18 years of experience, but she's working with us on SAP project, but she mainly take care of third-party software, which is integrated with SAP, like Vim.
Okay.
Okay,
Fine.
and she's a ERP expert. So previously she was working with Oracle and all.
Okay.
I think we
Okay.
can
Fine.
start.
Sure. So I have one PPT. This is for the beginner of student. This is for SAP FICO S4 HANA beginners. Okay. So I'll just walk you through because you've been in SAP already, and maybe some of these things you are already aware of. So we will not cover that. So we will cover all those S4 HANA things which are new to you. So are you able to see my screen? My screen is visible.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
I can see.
So, okay, fine. So here I have given an introduction of SAP. So I hope you know that how any of the SAP, any of ERP product, ERP software works. Okay, so SAP is a ERP software. Then in the market, like we are aware that there are two products we have for SAP. So one is the ECC version, and second is the SAP S/4HANA. That is the latest one, started from 2015. And when we are working for any of the SAP project, so we've been given a SAP landscape where we will be given three types of system: development, quality, and production. So development, we do the configuration development, and then we also do the unit testing. Quality, we do different kind of testing. It may be a unit testing, SIT, UAT, regression testing, and after that, whatever the development that client business has agreed upon or they have tested, so that we need to move to the production system, that is the real time system we have our where we have the real time balances and those balances are getting updated in the real time as and when the transactions are being happened. So now, why SAP? Any company go for this SAP as a ERP software? So there are the reasons. So like 80% of the Fortune 1000 company trust this SAP for their ERP operations. Then 87% of the world's leading global 2000 company run on SAP. SAP is trusted over 300,000 companies across 180 countries, and SAP is a preferred ERP software for the large and multinational corporations. So here these are the reason why SAP is preferred as a ERP software because of the increased efficiency, improved decision making, then enhanced visibility, standardization, cost saving, digital product, process automation, cloud analytics. So, like we are aware that there are multiple modules we have in the SAP, and these modules are catering to the different functional area in any of the company. So, for example, we have the functional area, and for these functional area, SAP has given us the functional module. So, these modules, for example, for finance, it is FI; for cost controlling, it is CO; for inventory or procurement, it is MN. Then for the intake, for sales and distribution, we have S&D. Then likewise for the production, we have production planning, that is we call it as a PP, and for HR it is HR and HCM. We also have the success factor that we have in the SAP S/4HANA for the HR. Now all these modules, these are not the only module. Apart from that, there are 100 plus modules, but we can't cover on. I have just mentioned here some of the important modules, and these module you will be able to see for any of the project SAP project. For any of the client, you can see these modules are very often, so they are used. Now all these are the functional modules. So till this, anybody know the difference between the functional and technical module? If anybody aware of the difference between the functional and technical module in SAP, what is a functional and what is a technical module?
Functional is done from the all configuration from SPRO. Okay, so technical, which is something different from the SPRO. Just we need to make some code changing and need to technical. As per the business requirement, we need to do some additional code changes and reports
Yes,
and
very
like
right.
that.
Yeah, very right. So we have two kinds of thing. We have the standard and we have the customized. So SAP has given us the standard solution, and for the standard solution, so we have been given a predefined configuration so that we need to apply, and we will be able to deliver a standard solution to our client. Now, if the client is looking for some customization and some enhancement, some customized report, so for that we have the RISEP, or we have, I would say, RISEP stands for, it is related to report interface, then it is related to forms, workflows. Basically, it is something which is not standard. So we need to make the changes in the code, because in the whenever we are working for any of the configuration in the background, so we will be given by the SAP, we have been given a standard program, and in that standard program a code has been written. Now if the client is looking for the customization, then we need somebody to make the changes in that code. We need like the people from the ABAP side, ABAP consultant, and this ABAP consultant would be from the technical side, and he will have the exposure in the coding, in the programming. So he will help us to get that code change so that a customized solution, a customized report, or customized enhancement can be delivered to the client. So apart from the ABAP consultant, so ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming. Apart from the ABAP consultant, we need to also work with the other technical consultant, like we have the basis consultant. So basis consultant or basis team is the owner of the SAP software. So they are owner of the SAP server, so they like upgrade, or they will also let us know when this downgrade is going to be, because they need to do some kind of server work or some server patch they need to upgrade. So all these kind of work will be done by the basis team. Then nowadays, you know that there are so many applications which a client want to use. There are and they want to optimize, they want to take the exposure of those application, those web portal, they want to use it. Now for that, we need to do the integration of SAP with the external software, so or external application. So for that integration, we need to take the help of the PI consultant. So because we need a middleware who is going to pick the file from the interface SFTP to SAP application server, and drop it in the application server, and vice versa. So for that we need to also take the help of the PI consultant. So basically, more or less, this is the kind of a team we will have for any of the project. Then we know that there are different kinds of project we have in SAP. So once this implementation project we have, when this SAP is going to be implemented for the first time in the client's business. A rollout means, so SAP is already there. We have the presence of SAP, but not for all the legal entities, not for all the operation of the company. So for the limited plant, for the limited company code, so in that case, if they want to go for the new plant, new company code, so that is going to be considered as a rural project. Then, and this kind of a project, we will see if any acquisition has happened, any merger, any takeover has happened. So that kind of, if that kind of a situation is there, then we will have this rollout project. Support, it is also known as AMS project. AMS project means annual maintenance support. So in this annual maintenance support, what we need to do? So we will be getting the day-to-day issues from the client, and apart from the day-to-day issues, we will also get the rise of objects. Rise of object means like they need some enhancement, they need some customization, they need some process improvement, they need some automation. So in order to cater that kind of services or solutioning, so we need to go for the support work. So the support could be after the implementation, it may be for 1 year, 2 year, and it is a particular AMS project that may be for like for 3 year, 5 year. So that okay. Anything? Anybody has any question related to the type of projects?
Yep.
Okay. Then you may be aware that whenever we go for any of the SAP implementation, so we follow the ASAP methodology where we have the project preparation, business blueprint, then we have the realization phase, then we have the final project preparation, and we have the go live and hypercare, then we have the support. So if anybody needs more information into that, or we can go to the next slide.
You can go to the next slide.
Now, in the SAP as for HANA, we do the Activate methodology. So, in this Activate methodology, so it is more agile. So, when we are just saying that it is more agile, so it means that so here in this ASAP, so once like the business blueprints have been done, so we have done that realization. So the changes are not like if the client want to make some changes in the blueprint or in the realization, so that is not possible, or it is very difficult to incorporate that particular change. But here in the Activate, so because it is a kind of agile, so it is this work is being done parallelly with the client, so the changes are possible in the later stage also, some of the changes but not all. So it is saying that now these steps are like these steps have been given new name, but most of the things are going to be common. So for example, for this project preparation, here we have the discover. Then for this business blueprint, so here we have the actually for this project preparation, so here we have the discover and prepare, whereas for this blueprint we have here the explore, and then realize is also here realize. Okay. Then after that we have the deploy. For deploy we have for the final project preparation and go live, and then we have the run. So run here means we have the go live and support. Okay. So that is these are the steps we have in the activate methodology. Now we also need to know the role of SAP end user and SAP consultant, since you are already in the SAP area. So these roles would be clear to you. Like any user has to do the recording and manage their journal entry, accounting entry in the general ledger accounts. Then they need to also look after their AP AR accounts, the payment invoicing, then the reconciliation. Then they also need to prepare the trial balance and accurate the financial data entry. Now we need to also know the roles of any of the consultant, SAP FI consultant. So what he will be doing, he will be gathering the requirement from the client. Then he will be accordingly based on the requirement. So he will just check what is the best practice provided by the SAP, what is the best standard solution provided by the SAP, and he will be doing the matching with that particular best practice, that particular requirement. So that is a I would say activity. After that he will start working on the configuration, and after the configuration he will be doing the development and integration. As I just shared with you, nowadays we also need to work on the interfaces. So we have the bank, we have softwares, like it could be a software related to the updating the exchange rate, related to the updating the invoicing, related to the updating the credit memos. So that information we need to integrate with the SAP system. For that we also need to work on the development and integration. Then we also need to do the testing if that integration or that configuration is working fine. Then we need to also do the data migration. So if we have any legacy data, any old data that we need to move to the SAP system. Then we also need to train the user. We need to write the user manual. Then we need to also we need to have a training session where we will be giving the training to the user how a particular activity is to be done, whether it is a parking posting or it is a GRIR posting, or it is a sales incoming payment posting, outgoing payment posting, reconciliation activity. So that kind of activity, that kind of training we need to give it to the user. Then after that, system maintenance and optimization. So we need to also see what are the how we can optimize the background job, how we can optimize a variant, how we can optimize a program, so that the performance can be increased, redundancy, data redundancy, so that can be decreased. Then we have the we need to communicate with the product manager, functional manager, IT manager from the client side. Then we need to also give the solutioning, the strategic advisory we need to do to the client. So like you just started, you said that you started with the R2. So here I have just given a journey of SAP R3. So how we SAP has come to the R3. So they started with the R1, then R2, then they come up with the R3. That was their big, their, I would say, biggest. It is a kind of flagship product for them, and this has increased the presence of SAP in the ERP software market. So it offered the centralized integrated business solution to all the core functions, like including it majorly includes the finance, sales, and inventory. So here, how this R3 was different from your previous R2 and R1, if anybody let me know. Why
Yeah,
R?
R2 is just like a Unix system. Okay, it's a two-tier architecture. R2 is a two-tier architecture.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what is the benefit of three-tier architecture?
Architecture means basically you have the standard layer, means uh, mm, defined layer, right? One is for the database layer. Okay, your
Mhm.
database, uh, your functional is at the top layer, and in the middle is the basis, I think.
You are right. So here actually SAP has given a split. So split of data. So now we will be having the presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. So with this architecture, what is the benefit? So the benefit is if any kind of data disruption has happened, any kind of shutdown has happened. So if there are 100 users, then all the 100 users will not experience the same thing. If let's say any kind of a data disruption is happening in one system in by the one user, then the same kind of experience may not be for the other user. So they can continue to work on their system, because now there is a dedicated this thing layer we have to manage the data storage. So here it is saying that we have first the presentation layer, which would be for the user interface, that is the UI, and through which we have the user, this graphical user interface, that is the GUI, on which we work. And in the background we have the application layer, which will process those program or those calculation, and or compiling of data will happen on this layer. And finally, and this data will be fetched from where? This data will be fetched from the data storage from the database layer. So reason for the success of R3, we can discuss that because it is more integrated. So we have the F5, we have supply chain, inventory, procurement. So those are very closely integrated. That is also one of the reason of success of this R3. Then the real-time data processing. So the data processing can be done on the real-time basis. Then we have been given the modular and customizable option. So for example, if any of the company they don't want to go with the SAP FICO module. So they want to only do the testing, or I would say they want to just test this SAP for the inventory or sales. So they can go for SAP SD and SAP MM or PP implementation. So they can keep this FICO aside, and it can be other way around. So they can, if they want to implement FICO first, later based on the performance of SAP FSU, they want to decide that okay, they will be extending into the other functional area or not. So that modular and customizable option is available in the SAP R3, and then it is a client server architecture. Then, because for a particular client, we can give a separate architecture, then a comprehensive functional coverage is available. So after that, the strong focus on the business processes. So this R3 based, and this has been made based on the most of the standard processes being used by the companies, by the client. So based on that, they have prepared, or they have made this product. Then it is also going to meet the globalization and localization. So if any company wants to scale, then they can use this SAP R3 for their business scale. Then strong vendor and ecosystem. So after that, we have the market timing, strong implementation and support services by SAP. So this is the journey of SAP S4 HANA. So it started with the, so how it has started, so like you just said that I started with R2. So in 1979, so they have just come up with the R2. Then we have R3 in the 1992. Then in 2004, they have come up with the SAP Business Suite with the name ERP software. And after that, in the March 2015, they have come up with the SAP S4 HANA product. So it is saying that what are the features we have for this SAP S4 HANA. So here we have the in-memory computing. In-memory computing means, actually, since this is based on the HANA database. So prior to this SAP S4 HANA, this ECC, so SAP was using on some other database. So that database was a Linux database, Oracle database, but now SAP has made their own database, and in the database there is a option of in-memory computing. What is that in-memory computing? So we have heard about, we have seen the three-layer system. Okay, we have the presentation layer, then we have two other layers. Okay, now it is saying that the data, we don't need to take it directly from the database layer. So there is some kind of data would be available in the application layer, sorry, in the second layer, that is the application layer. So from that layer, we have been given some kind of data which we can send it to the presentation layer. We don't need to go to the database layer, and so that the travel time has been reduced, the travel time. But here we will be given the latest data. So if you want to refer any kind of old data, that is a 3-year old or 4-year old or 5-year old, then for that you need to go to the database layer. That may take little time. Okay, so that is the in-memory computing, that we can work on the uh, presentation layer. We can retrieve the data from the application layer. Then simplified data model is available, user-friendly interface is available. So we have the SAP Fiori. Let me just give you a demo of SAP Fiori. Actually, this demo, it is going to take at least one day. So this is a Fiori application. This is, I would say, one of the major benefits which SAP has given out of this SAP S4HANA product. Let me. One second. Actually, this is the Fiori interface, and this interface on which whatever the things a user can do it on the GUI. So the same kind of activities can be done on the SAP Fiori, and over there in the GUI, we know that we use the different transaction code to go into the different screen and navigation. But here we can use the application. So we have been given the Fiori application through which a user can do there, or we can also do the testing. So it is just coming, it is little slow, and by that time I will also walk you through SAP Fiori library. So what is this SAP Fiori library? So if you have any kind of like question or any kind of query you have related to the Fiori application, what are the app ID and other things? What are, let's say if I need to use a Fiori application for the general account posting that is similar to the F-02 or F-43. So I want to find out the relevant application, and I am not able to see on my Fiori application. Give me 1 second. So you can just see this is my SAP homepage where I can just see there are multiple application access I have been given. So I want to, let's say here the purchase order application is not available, okay, or let's say the GRIR application available, it is not available. So how I can get that application? For that, what security consultant is going to ask you? So he will ask for the app ID, what app ID access you want to have it. So in order to get that app ID, we need to come here in the SAP Fiori library. Here we can just search for the all application, and we want to have the access of, let's say it is MIGO, enter. So it will show me the application relevant to the MIGO, or it will show me the application related to the relevant for the MIRO. Let's say MIRO if I go with. Hmm. So you can just see this is the application you have through which we will be able to do the invoicing. Okay, and here this is the name of the application. Then after that we can also see the app ID. This is the app ID. So this you can share with your SAP security consultant. Based on that, he will be giving you the access for this application. And post access, so we will be able to see this application on the system as well. For example, if we just search with the, here we have been given a search bar, we can just click on the search option, and we can search for the application ID MIRO. You can also enter here transaction code, and based on the transaction code, system will just show you that application is assigned to your role or not. It is available in the system. Actually, my this login ID with this best online is not working. So the Fury is little faster on that application, is little faster on that portal. Okay, it is, the server is little slow, so that is the reason it is taking time to come up.
So, so Jitesh, I think you can move to the next topic. If it is theory is taking time, so better you move to the next topic.
Oh, okay, so so these things like we can, what we do it on the GUI, so we can also do it on the Fury, and Fury is more, I would say, user friendly, and it will also it is easy to first use the application rather than going into the different transaction code. Okay. Then it is saying that what are the other features we have for this S4 HANA. So it is the simplified data model. So user-friendly interface we have been given. Then on this, there are some basic reporting we have in the BI. So that BI reporting we can also access in the SAP S4 HANA. Then because BI is a different altogether a different box we have on which they just do their strategic reporting which they need to which the higher with the senior level management they want to see it. Okay, so they don't want to see this FBL 5 and report, FBL 1 and report, FBL 3 and report. What they want to see, they want to see the graphical progress or the graphical flow, how the sale is happening, how the cost tracking they want to do it. So that can be done through the graphical thing, and through that, and for that we use SAP module called SAP Business Intelligence BI. So now some kind of basic BI interfaces or the analytics now is available in the SAP S4 HANA in the FI box only, so that reports we can access. Then it is saying that we have been given, SAP has provided the client the multiple deployment option. So this on-premise option. So this is clear. What is the on cloud, this hybrid and cloud option we have been given? Do you have the visibility about this hybrid deployment, and what is the on-premise cloud option? Hello, am I
Can you
audible?
please repeat? Yes.
Yeah, I'm just asking if you have the clarity about this on-premise cloud and hybrid deployment option. I need to explain it.
If you could, that will be good.
Okay. So here we have the deployment option. So the first deployment option is on-premise. So that is similar to the ECC also. So in this deployment, so this is the on-premise one. Okay. So here we have a client, and for the client, we are having the different functional area, and for this functional area, we have the different module, and in these module, we have the data, and the data is getting processed or it is getting maintained centrally in the one server. Now that server is placed in the client business location in the client office, and that we call it as a on-premise. So here in this on-premise we can see that server room, we can see that there is a team looking after that server room. There is a like power, electricity or security we need to provide for this SAP, for this on-premise option, because now this server is being looked after by the client IT team. Okay, so that is the on-premise option we have. On the other hand, we have been given the cloud option. So what SAP has done, SAP has made a different data center in many of the states. So for example, for UP, for Maharashtra, for Andhra Pradesh, for Karnataka. So they have made the data centers, and in these data centers, so what they have asked their client, so they just ask their client that they don't need to maintain the server, they don't need to build the server by their IT team. Okay, what do? You give us the subscription. So we will be providing you the server, and we will be maintaining them. So for example, you can just see this is the cloud server option we have been given, and this is provided by the SAP. And what SAP has done, so in their data center, they have placed the server for their respective clients. So for example, there is a automotive company, and in that auto industry, so they have SAP has made the server or kept the server for their client 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now what SAP has done, so SAP has given a dedicated server to each of their client. Okay, that is the cloud server option, and this is the private cloud. Okay, this is
Yep.
clear. What is that private cloud deployment
Yep.
option? Okay,
Yes.
now we'll see the public cloud option. So here in the public cloud option, how it is different from the private. So now we have, like again, in the data center, so SAP has given a server, and that is being looked after by SAP itself. And now in that single server, you can just see the example we have for the public cloud. Now in that single S4 HANA public server, so what SAP is doing, SAP is catering to the different client. So the same server is being given to client 1, client 2, client 3, client 4, client 5, client 6, client 8, client 7. Okay. So multiple tenants are available on the same server. This is called the public cloud option. Okay, fine.
No, yeah.
Now, why this has been given for this option? Because each company will have their own budget. So they will have a specific budget, and they will have some specific funds available. So now, based on their availability of the budget, so accordingly they can just go for the option. So, for example, this option is would be cheaper than the private cloud, and this private cloud would be cheaper than the on-premise. Okay, so for example, any company who doesn't have much funds, or they don't have much bigger budget, so they want to capitalize the benefit of this SAP cloud or SAP server or SAP functionality as a ERP software. So they can go with this SAP public cloud. So they can just work. They can get the experience. Okay, how the processes are streamlined and how the automation can be done on the SAP ERP software. And if they have more budget, then they can go with the private cloud option, because here the changes are not very much option. Changes means ABAP changes. The customization is very limited, because the same server is being given to other client also, and SAP doesn't want that if any customization is done by the one client, and it would be hamper by other client also. So that is the reason SAP strictly said that any kind of customization is not available on the public cloud. Okay, on the private cloud, yes, customization is available up to a limited space. And on the on-premise, yes, n number of, and like you can do the customization on your on this on-premise, that is the server maintained by client himself. Okay, okay, this deployment options are here.
So, Jitesh, I have a question. So you explain about the on premises, then the private cloud and the public cloud. So one of the disadvantages I could understand is the cost. What other disadvantages we have, let's say comparing to in-house and private cloud?
Yeah, sure. So here, this is a comparison I have just mentioned here. So it is saying that if we go with the on-premise, private or public, so what are the benefits or demerits we have? So here it is saying that whenever you go for any of these deployment, so anyways the database is going to be HANA. So that is the first condition. So the HANA database will have on-premise, private or public cloud option. Then what else? So here it is saying that the configuration which we are doing, so that is we need to do it on the on-premise option on the private, whereas some of the standard configuration would be done by SAP under the Fury option. So this on the public cloud. So there are predefined configuration which would be done by SAP only. Okay, on the Fury. And if we need to do any kind of other configuration, so that we can do it with the help of Fury application. Then the user activities. So here in this on-premise and private, so we can carry out our user activity on both on the GUI as well as on the Fury. Whereas the end user activities we need to carry out only on the Fury application under the public cloud.
Okay, so
Then
this is one of the drawbacks.
yes. Then, as I just shared with you, when you go for the public cloud, so SAP has already, because the customization is not available, same product is being offered to all the clients. So the configuration support is available. That yes, you can do any kind of, you can look for the configuration support from SAP for under the public cloud. Whereas on-premise and private cloud, so this configuration will be done by the consultant themselves. Okay. Then
Okay,
after that, hmm.
so you can continue.
Yeah. So after that, the this database we already discussed. We have the shared server. So like we know that okay, this is not a shared server. So client is having their own server, and on that they are also incurring the cost, upkeeping of that server, upgrade of server, having a team who is looking after it, and they also need to manage. They also need to like give a space, give a office space, so that server can be maintained in that particular room, in that particular space. Then after that they need to also make sure that particular room should have the 24 by 7 power, so there should be backup also. So that is the things which client has to manage under the on premise. On the other hand, under the private, so they don't need to manage it, so because it is being managed by the SAP, and SAP will make sure that there would be no power disruption, there would be no data disruption, and it would be 24 by 7. It should be available on the private cloud as well as on the public cloud. Okay. So it is saying that
Okay.
this data, the server will be shared. It is no on the on-premise. Also, it is no on the private, because we have seen that example that we SAP has made a data center where the different server for each of the client is placed. And here we have the public where we have the single server and we have the tenants of SAP, and these are different clients who are their tenants and they are using that SAP server. So data sharing or server sharing, sorry, not the data, server sharing is available on the public, whereas it is not available on the private and on premise. Okay. Then this SAP server setup, as we discussed that, okay, this is to be done by client IT team, whereas the in the other options we have the private and public. So this server setup, like any kind of upgrade is available. So in the public cloud, we have the every quarter there is a SAP upgrade, and it will be done by the SAP automatically. So for that we don't need to hire the team, we don't need to hire a basis team, a dedicated team who will be doing it. Unlike the private cloud and on-premise, where we need to have that basis team who would be doing that upgrade, downgrade, or that patch upgrade. So all these things will be done by that IT team. Then for this on-premise and private cloud, so on-premise, if they want to have the server, they will be buying the server from these company IBM, HPM, Dell. Whereas for the private cloud scenario, so they need to, like SAP, they need to take the server from, because it is a cloud, so that cloud services they need to buy from the AWS, Google, Azure. Then for the public, so SAP has its own cloud option, that is the Cloud for C. ECC migration, it is possible on the on-premise, on the private cloud, whereas ECC migration from on the public cloud, if you want to do it, so that is not available. Okay. Then upgrade and backup and responsibility. So we already discussed. So it is client. It will be handled by the client's IT team. Whereas in the other areas, it will be done by the SAP itself. We don't require any client IT team. And also the budget or the cost, if any company who is new and they have limited funds, they have a limited budget, then they can first go with this public cloud. And if any client has they don't have any restriction on the budget, then they can go with the on premise or private cloud. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Now, as I have also shown you the SAP Fiori, so that is the new interface we have apart from the GUI we've been seeing for the long time. So it is saying that now these applications are available on the Windows operating system, iOS, and Android. So these are available. These are available on the different devices also. So we can, unlike the GUI, which you can access only from the desktop or from the laptop, now it is also available on the iPad or on the mobile phone. Then, as I just explained to you, so we have SAP Fiori application in the Fiori. Unlike the GUI, we have the transaction code. We depend on the T codes. Then these application more, it is majorly into three types. So these are transactional based application. Then these are the analytical apps. And then we have the fact sheet. So transactional application, like you want to do any kind of posting, payment, then you want to do the clearing. So these are kind of the transactional apps we have. Okay. So for example, if I just show you, so here this posting of sales order, managing the purchase order, journal entries. Okay. So all these are the transactional application, whereas we have the analytical app. So analytical app means it will give you the view. So for example, here we have the informative application also, so you can just see this manage. So it will give you the information how the data is flowing, how the sales order are flowing. So for last 1 month, for last one this thing week, for last 6 months, so how the sales order are getting increased, what is the flow. So that kind of analytical apps we will be able to use it here. Then we have the fact sheet where it is going to give you the information for any of the object you want to find out on the Fiori application. Then these applications are made based on the role based. So as I just shared with you, so we need to identify in the role. So within the finance also we have been given multiple roles. We have the AR, AP, then treasury, then we have a dispute, then we have collection. So there are multiple role. Based on the role, so the user will be given the access. Then it is saying that it is available on any kind of devices. That is the responsiveness. Then simple means it is simpler than the GUI on which we've been working. Then it is seamless experience. So as I just shared with you, so this information you need to navigate through the hyperlink, different hyperlink, and it will give you the information for any particular object you are looking for. Unlike the GUI, for the if let's say I want to find out any information, I need to use different transaction code for that. But here on the Fiori, we can access that information through the different hyperlink. So that is giving the more, I would say, great experience to the user. So it is saying that why Fiori we need to use. So because it is going to increase the productivity of the user, then it is going to give the transparency on the item needing the attention. So for example, if a client wants to know what is the sales or budget or cost related information, so that we will be able to get it through the we will be able to present through the Fiori application. Then it is helpful to decide the future action, allow the user to take the prompt action. So if the cost is getting increased or cost is not getting controlled, then what action they need to take it. So that will help them. Okay, so that okay, if the cost is not getting controlled, or the revenues are not getting increased, or the sales margins are getting down, so they will accordingly take the prompt action. Then it is saying that how to use this SAP Fiori application. So we have been given a web browser. So that web browser could be Google browser, it could be Firefox, it could be Microsoft Edge, through which we will be able to use this SAP Fiori application. So we can also use a transaction code, that is /UI means user interface to, then FLP means Fiori Launchpad. On the if we just use it on the SAP SAP GUI, if we use this transaction code, then these applications are more majorly into the finance, sales, and procurement. Then Launchpad can be modified and personalized. So like here, if I just show you, so this is not the final one. Okay, so for example, these application which we can just see. Okay, so for example, I want to add, these are the groups we have. Okay, so if I want to add the new group, yes, I can add it. In that group I want to add a particular set of application, so that I can also add it here. Okay, so for example, this is my home page and this is the new application I new group, sorry, new group I have created. And in that new group I have also created these, I have put these applications. Okay, so yes, these are the things which can be done by the user itself. Okay, for that we don't need to go for any Fiori consultant and get it done. Okay, now here we have been given the uh, option under the SAP Fiori that okay, you can check your recent activities which you have performed on this SAP Fiori. So for example, these are the application I have used, for how many days I have used this application, that it will give you. And also it will give you the frequently used application which are very frequently used by the user. So that we can also able to get it. Then after that, we have been given the app finder. So as I just shared with you, if any application you are not able to see on the screen, so you can just go and check that application here. Now that application system is going to check from where? From the SAP Fiori catalog. You can just see the search is in the catalog. So catalog will be given on the left side. You can just see all this is the catalog. So under the each option, for example, here we have the option called accounting configuration. So for that accounting configuration, if I go here and here you can just see it will give me the relevant application that okay, we can enable the substitution validation log, we can enable the set substitution, and we can also manage the rule. Okay, so these applications are presently disabled, but if I want to enable it, so I need to just click on this OK button and I will be able to enable it. Now system is asking that to which group you want to add it. So for example, if I want to add it in the group, it is the AP for the JA. Okay, it will be done. Then after that, the color will be changed. Now you can just see the blue color has come. It means that now it has been attached to your group. Likewise, you can just see there are multiple applications available under the different space, under different area. So we have the AP, AR, then we have the cash application, then we have the consolidation, credit management, we have the collection, then we have the EWM, GL, we have the consolidation, master data. Likewise, we can go to the relevant area and we can just see the application. Okay, but if you want to search from all these area, if you want to search from here, then you can also search from this catalog also. Okay, now there is a different two magnifier lens we have been given. You can just see there is one search bar over here and there is another search bar in this at the top. Okay, so this is a search bar to find out the application from the catalog. Okay, now this is a search bar. It is not going to like search the application from your catalog but all across. So you can just see apart from the application, here we have been given the other options also. So we have the bank chain, we have the S4 HANA bank, then we have other areas. Okay, now that particular object will be searched by the system across all these things. Okay, apart from the application. So for example, if I just go to the all option and I search for the profit center, so wherever the profit center exists across all these area, it will show us. Okay. So like here you can just see this sales volume, sales margin. This is a kind of analytical app. So through this, we will be able to find out that okay, how the sales are going in the company for last 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, and accordingly. So accordingly, we can just work on it. Okay. So basically, this training is going to be for 2 months. Okay, and in this 2 months, we will be covering we will be covering the changes we have in the GL, in the AP, AR, in the asset accounting. Then we will be also checking the changes we have in the cost center, profit center, internal order, product costing, and profitability analysis. So we'll not go into detail of product costing and profitability analysis, like you also aware that this is altogether a different expertise we have in the CO. Okay, but we will be covering the major, the high level understanding about the product costing and COPA. What are the changes we have with respect to the SAP S4 HANA? Okay, so this session is going to be 1 hour daily and from Monday to Friday. And if we'll have any question, then we can also discuss those questions in our training session. So that is what I have with me. Okay, if you have any question, just let me know.
Uh, can it be on the weekend?
You want to have it on weekend?
Yes,
Okay, weekend
because
for
see, most of okay, just give you a brief idea. Okay, okay. So mostly all our colleagues, okay, currently working, giving implementation and support. Okay, they give the support India, Israel, also the US. Okay, so that the reason sometimes any one of the colleague will not be, for one of the colleague is not possible to join the session because of the priority being set. for the support. So that's what I'm asking. Is it possible on the weekend? Uh, anyway, we will check internally, but we would like to know that weekend is an option or not.
Weekend actually,
Saturday
what
or
time you
Sunday.
are preferring? Like weekend, I am available morning time.
Okay.
Hmm. Morning, like it could be 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
Jitesh, can you send us a prepared like a training plan for us with the topics and the number of hours, number of days? Then accordingly we can see if we can do Monday to Friday. I don't know. What time do you suggest Monday to Friday?
Because currently we are checking the option, okay, and we will
Yeah.
discuss internally tomorrow, okay, within the team, what are the best fit, whether we'll go for the Monday to Friday or a weekend.
If you are sorry, Raj here. If you are going for the weekend, then it's going to be longer hours you need to sit. Like Saturday, like
Yeah, that's
see, our plan is like
yeah, that's fine. That
5 to
I
6
think that's fine. Anyway, we will check, okay, internally. But as I
I
said,
would prefer if
our colleague.
have you can have like weekday session, and in the weekdays I am available like after 8 o'clock, like 8 o'clock evening time or 9 o'clock evening time. But if you want to take the weekend session, then that I'm also okay. But that
Mhm.
weekend session will have the 2 hour session, and it would be on Saturday, Sunday morning time. Okay.
8 or 9
Okay,
o'clock.
It will be 9 to 11, or it would be 8 to like 10, depends on you.
10:30.
So what you prefer, what slot you are preferring.
sure, sure. And
Okay. We'll
sorry,
check this.
I
Can
haven't.
you have
I missed
yeah,
the point. I missed the point of Monday to Friday. What time it will be feasible
After
for
8
you
p.m.
to have that
8
session?
p.m. 8 p.m. Indian time,
8 p.m.
8 p.m. IST or 9 p.m. IST. 1 hour daily.
Okay, 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 okay. Fine.
Sorry,
and
what
will
you
you
are saying,
send us a
Sandeep?
training plan? Yeah, will you send us a training plan, the topics and the duration and everything?
Yeah, I
Duration.
will just send you, okay, but I will not be able to send you the scheduler that, okay, on first day what we will be doing, second day what we will be doing. So that scheduler I don't have with me. I need to prepare that. Okay. But I'll give you a high level understanding that what we are doing. Okay. So for example, you can just see these are the areas we will be working on. So I have created the worksheets. Okay. So these are the worksheets we have for the different area. For example, we have the worksheet for the APAR, then for the basic setting, then for the FSC underscore ledger, that is the ledger setting. Then we have the integration with MMSD, and we have the new asset accounting. So these are the practice sheets we have, and for each of the practice sheet, for example, if I need to work on the basic setting, so that I'll share with you, okay, what are the steps we are going to cover. So for example, we'll start with the step number one, then what information you need to enter, what fields we are going to focus on. Then after that, how we are going to like complete this, and post completion, so what kind of testing we will be doing, so that we will see in the system. And those steps are also available in this practice sheet only. Okay. So for example, here if I just show you the steps for the AP, so how we will be after the creation of a business partner. So we have this business partner now, in place of like vendor creation, business partner is required. So post creation of the business partner, how we can like post the invoice. And here I have also highlighted some of the applications. So for example, if those things you are not you don't want to do it on the on the GUI, so you want to use the Fury application. So for example, here for the vendor invoice, what application we can use for the posting, and for the payment also, what application we can do it. For the automatic payment program, what application we can do. Okay, so all these things we can see in this practice sheet, apart from
Okay.
the steps.
And okay, yeah. And which version are you going to use for this training? S4 HANA
Yeah, it
version?
is going to be, yeah, it is going to be 2023. Okay, so that
Mm-hmm.
server, it is rightly it is not working. Okay, I'll just show you.
So actually, Sandeep, to answer your question, so there is not much difference. Okay.
Yeah.
Not much difference in this one. So 2022 is a most stable version. In 2023, there are certain features changed, not really into this one, but the advanced feature, this one like TRM, there are changes, like BCM, there are changes, central finance, there are certain changes. But as part of FICO side, there were not been much changes in my view.
Yeah, the recent version is 2024, right? Okay.
No,
And
2023. Recent version is
No, no,
2023, but some of the servers are available for 2023, but 2022 and 2023, so both are more or
more
like
stable.
the same.
And more stable.
okay.
2024, if you
Uh,
keep on, if you are starting your training on 2024, there's going to be a lot of instability. Okay. So
Hmm.
because you see a lot of Fury apps will not work, and we need to patch up with all the SAP nodes and all those things. So
yeah.
usually we do the training on the stable versions. Okay, not the newer version is not going
Okay.
to give you any difference. Okay, almost all the things are going to be the same. Okay, you see, S/4HANA is basically under one umbrella for all the modules. Like if there are certain changes in EWM side, for example, and if there are major changes are happening in the logistics domain, or uh, in any other areas, then what they do is like they pack it up and they say it's a new version. But majorly in finance side, there won't be much changes happen after 2022. FICO side, I'm saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jitesh.
Okay.
Yeah, you are right. Yes.
Okay. And just in case, so now we see the training plan. Okay. If you want to include the migration, okay. So because how it is going to, because see, migration required, it requires additional system, and and also non-legacy system and legacy system. So how it's going to be happen if you want to include the migration as well in the training plan?
Uh, You see, migration is not merely the part of uh, functional consultant. Okay, it requires us to have basis person also in the team, a BAPR also in the team. So that's going to be all together. The most important thing is the basis person. Okay, how the migration you want to
No, no,
handle,
no, no, no.
like
I'm
on
not
premise
talking
or the
about the
private
migration.
cloud.
No, sorry. I'm not talking into the that migration that basis usually do. I'm mostly
Uh-huh.
regarding the migration of finance.
Upgradation you're
Okay,
talking.
then yeah, the CVI part and all those things, right? So because see, if you go for certification, okay, so there are three
Mm-hmm.
topics, okay, and there are weightage being given to the migration part, right? Asset
Mm-hmm.
account migration, GL account migration, okay,
Oh,
your
migration with respect to,
CVI,
yes,
synchronization of customer vendor
migration with
integration.
respect to the functional aspect you're talking about, right?
Yes, yes, correct, correct.
Okay, got you. So yeah, Jitesh, I forgot to tell you. Yesterday we had a talk with the team. So they are also, you see, like we have the three clear requirements here, Jitesh, just to brief you again. So first thing is like we have diversified participants. Some of them are, aware of what is SAP very well, and some of them are, very freshers. Okay, like they are seeing the screens right now, but they are not like pro in the things like they can do configurations and all. And that is the first requirement. We need to consider every one of the level and start from very basic to pro level. That is first requirement. The second requirement here is we are going to, anyways, like once we are talking about S4 HANA training on FICO training on S4 HANA, definitely most of the aspects or all the aspects of FICO is going to be covered, and whichever the delta changes are there, we are going to cover in S4 HANA aspects. So it means after this training, they should work on FICO as well as S4 HANA side. So that should be the goal of ours. This is the second one, and the third one is like they are also looking to appear for the certifications. So the relevant
Yeah, because
certification they
see,
want to clear.
yes,
Yeah. So these are the
correct,
three
correct.
major
And
things. So are we able to cater all these things, Jitesh? Yeah. Please go ahead.
yeah, because see, if you go for a certification, so I think there are around 30 to around 30% of weightage on the migration side, right? If I understand correctly. And mostly they are talk about the brownfield implementation, not the greenfield implementation.
Yeah, actually, most of my student has this kind of requirement only. So if I talk about particularly about the certification, so that is not a major task. Okay, so I'll let you know how you will be able to clear it. Okay, so so certification you will be able to you will be able to clear it.
Yeah, certification is not our the major basically to learn the migration. Okay, that is one of the motto.
Migration
Because see,
actually,
currently we are in this.
migration, see, first
Yeah.
we should have the old system, ECC system, and from that we are
Hmm.
migrating from S/4HANA system. Okay, we should have the two landscape. Okay, so
Correct.
since it is not a real time situation, so we will not be able to do it. Migration, I will not be able to cover.
Okay.
Okay.
Practically, that's
Okay.
what I said to
Got
you.
the.
This one practically is not very difficult because you see,
Mm.
we are coming from a level where everybody should have a clear understanding of the basics to advance of everything. Then, when we are talking about the migration part, so we need to prepare
Hmm.
a different landscape if we want to show the practicality of those things. Theoretically, if you want to have an overview, definitely we can give you. We can't we are not denying it that one, but practically
Hmm.
practical scenario like mapping the fields, doing the transportation, all those things, there are a lot of requirements are going to be there, and we need to prepare our system very well, and it's a one time activity. It's not like
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
showing the migration and you can do the practice. No, it can't be done. So one time is done, finish migration. So migration
Okay.
usually
Okay.
is going to be a very typical kind of scenario. So which really we are not going to show you practically. We are unable to show you practically because of the landscape
So,
issue. Yeah, and if at all you
okay.
really want to have
Just
it,
to
then the
summarize,
costing for that one is going to
just
be
to summarize the
very high.
migration, I think what you are talking about, you
Yeah,
will get
little bit.
the
Yeah, we can do that one.
theoretical
Yeah,
knowledge, right?
yeah, that can be done. That
Basically.
can be done. Yeah, that can be done.
Okay.
A
Okay.
basic
Because just I
overview
want
can
to
be done.
query means how we are going to cover. Because if you want to go for certification, because
No, certification
that's
is
what I'm
not an
trying to
issue at all
understand.
because Jitesh is having some dumps and all those things and approach how to clear the certification. We are very confident enough to make you clear the certification. But if you want a clarity on the, because I don't want to say something which we are not delivering. So honestly, I'm saying, and Jitesh also is the same. So if we are delivering, we'll deliver 100% with confidence, and you
Okay.
will enjoy the things. Okay. And you see, for every topic, we
Okay.
are having the practice sheets. We have well prepared documentations with us that we can share to you, and the training is going to be effortlessly very easy, is going to happen for you guys, and you will enjoy the subject being with Jitesh since he's having a lot of experience in this one implementation rollout. He has done numerous projects actually, and apart from this one, that
Mhm.
he has trained many consultants, even in his company, in with to the clients and with us as well. There is no need to worry on the knowledge transfer of everything on this one, but practically we are unable to show this migration part, which is going to be difficult. If you are having the landscape, then we can show.
Okay. Okay. That answered my question basically.
Thank you. So guys,
I
there
think we
are three
are
things
okay
are there.
till
After this call, we are going to share with you the course contents which we are sharing to you, and Sana is going to write a brief email where she is going to mention the two slots like weekdays and weekends. Usually weekdays are going to be after 8 o'clock, 8 to 9, or 9 to 10. That is those are the timings which
Hmm.
Jitesh has cleared. And for the weekends, we can either have 8 a.m. to in the morning. The sessions can be in the morning, 8 to 10. I'm sorry, 8 to 10. Yeah, 2 hours, 8 to 10 or 8 to 10:30, or 9 to 11 or 11:30. So 2.5 hours on Saturday and two and a half hours on Sunday, approximately. I'm saying to you. So it means like idea here is like per week we are going to cover approximately 5 hours. Either it's going to be weekdays or weekends. Okay. And the whole
Okay.
training is going to
Uh,
go for approximately 2 months in either cases.
okay. Okay. Okay.
60
After
days.
the training, if you have any clarification, right? Suppose we go for a weekend training, and if we get we need some support, okay, guidance.
Mm-hmm.
We were stuck in somewhere or had question how it is going to clarify those questions
You are saying post training or during the training?
during the training. See, suppose
During the training,
let's an
we
example,
can.
we are going for a weekend training, right? And we are stuck
Right.
somewhere, any of us stuck somewhere during the practice. So how the support will happen?
No, there are two cases in getting stuck. Okay, one is like if you are having some issue with the server with respect to basis process,
Hmm.
we are creating a group among us. Like we are having, salesperson means like Sana would be there. Our basis persons will be there, and the person who is conducting the training, they will also be there. Okay, so every
Hmm.
one of us is going to be there. So if any relevant with the basis kind of issues or server is not having proper functionality, then our basis person is going to answer immediately. That is one thing. With respect to the
Hmm.
functionalities, like if you are having some issues and some doubt with respect to the subject, for example configuration aspects, so in that case you just post
Yes.
the query. We are going to connect with Jitesh. If he's available, definitely we are going to answer it immediately. If not, in the upcoming sessions we are going to clarify those things. If there is something very
Okay.
important which you can't proceed without you clarifying the query in order to configure for the next session, definitely we can put a conference call with Jitesh and he's going to explain you quickly over the phone itself.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
I think we are good, Sandeep.
Yes. Yes. I think
Yeah.
he answered all the questions. Whatever in my mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
We'll come
Yeah,
back to you and we'll let you know whether we are going for weekend or weekdays. And
sure, not an
I
issue.
mean,
Not an issue. So
information
Sana,
to myself.
yeah, yes, Swati. So and the thing is like there is nothing to worry on the aspects like how it's going to be. We haven't seen the SAP screen before. We haven't seen the complex configurations. We have a very much easy documentation where we have even the screenshots how you are going to do the configuration step by step, and what are the business process achievements you are going to do with respect to the functional consultant, not as per the end user point of view. I'm saying here, saying
Hmm.
like you are going to be a proper functional consultant. Either you are going to work in a support project or implementation project as a consultant, you can do your work seamlessly. I mean, like very nicely you can perform the activities over there. So those
Yeah.
up to that level we can make you sure like we can take you on that particular level. Yeah,
Okay. Sure. Thank you so much.
you're most welcome.
Thank
Yeah,
you. It was
thank
a
you. So
nice
we can
session.
thank you so
Yeah,
much,
it was nice.
appreciate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, bye.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Yeah, same to you. Yeah.